What's the state of affairs in Hollywood right now and having a community? Well, stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about community and what it is and how important it is for most people. I'm going to dive into the background of Hollywood, the industry, the business, and things that are been kind of boiling up a little bit on social media and also otherwise. So a little background on, I started as an actor. I quickly realized that I had a knack for writing. So I started writing. This is about 20 years ago. And I believe storytelling is a big part of everyday life. And it's important that we honor that. Going back to starting with a community, I think in Hollywood, or what we call the film industry, it has been an interesting route. There's a lot of competition, and I think the competition takes away from the community, meaning every actor is trying to be somebody, every actor is trying to book a role, every actor is trying to be in the middle of, the limelight. Once they do get into the limelight, you just never know how long that's going to last. And how you get into the mainstream of the media and all the pitfalls and downfalls and all the positive but also negative, because most actors, if they get a shot of being, on a TV show, and a small percentage become movie stars, but the ones that do get a shot to work in industry, it's fleeting. I've had plenty of friends, and including myself, I've done some movies with some really great people, but the film industry has a knack for dividing people. And I think this is what's great about YouTube, that has been born really for a lot of people. Since COVID and since the strike, there was two strikes. One was the writer strike and the other one was the actor strike. Now I have to say, from a perspective of a creative, it wasn't easy at all, because there was movies that were in progress to be made. I personally had two films going at the time, and COVID disrupted that, and then the strike became a tremendous issue, very heavy burden, actually, more than the strike, more than COVID. I'm sorry, and then it continued. We tried to make movies through the SAG strike, and that was a bottleneck, meaning a lot of people try to make movies. SAG had to give you permission to make a movie. All of a sudden, your issues from going to raising money and getting a star attached just kind of shifted into, well, I got to get approved by SAG. And then also the agents, there's a lot of big agencies out there. You can just look them up. I'm not going to mention any of them here, but they also have a way, they want to protect themselves. They want to make sure that their clients are protected. They want to make sure that the clients are in the right projects, more eyeballs, sort of say, on the films. It used to be asses and seats, but right now it's really eyeballs because of all the different elements that are out there, including YouTube. So I've been watching some creators on YouTube, and I think there's some fantastic people out there doing some really good things and keeping it basics. And I think my background as a storyteller, as a filmmaker, and also in managing different businesses, from fitness to artificial intelligence to video production, I've learned a lot to navigate. But the navigation was never really shared with anybody, meaning I never had a platform, or I didn't even think about getting on YouTube, honestly. I think the reason I got on YouTube, I'll tell you a story. You might like this one. I wrote a book. After the Black Lives Matter happened, I was really inspired by a lot of different experiences that had happened to other people, and myself included. And being an immigrant in this country, I learned a lot to kind of put myself in a situation where I could not worry about the immigrant part, right? And hence the name of this channel, which is the Immigrant Storyteller. And the reason that came about is because when Black Lives Matter happened, I think it was during COVID, I decided to write a screenplay about some of the experiences I've had in the film industry. And it was from the heart, and it came out pretty strong. And I actually got Dustin Hoffman attached. I got Sam Worthington interested in it. Madeline Stowe wanted to do it. Harvey Keitel is interested in doing it. And then the strike happened. And all of a sudden, it was really challenging to even raise money for a drama. Now, you have to understand, making a drama in Hollywood was difficult and challenging to begin with. It wasn't easy. Now, adding what has happened during the strike and mainly the actor strike is that a lot of the big streamers decided to do their own productions. Now, that doesn't mean they're good productions. Some of them are great. Some of them are spent $100 million on a film, paid to really big actors. Action. Some of them are cookie cutters. Some of them are, okay, and some of them are good. Once in a while, you get something good, but they decided to take in the pie in a sense and do their own thing. Mainly because of that, also taking productions into Europe, different parts of Canada, out of the United States mainly, which is obviously Los Angeles and Georgia and Louisiana. Um, that shifted things for storytellers, creators. And also people who work in the film industry, from hair and makeup to cinematographers, editors, crafty, you name it, props. People just all of a sudden started having no jobs. And no one was talking about this. No one was talking about any of this on the red carpets. A lot of the big stars were like, well, they're pushing their films, which is what they're contractually have to do, but no one was talking about the hurt that was going on. And I think this is where I circle back into a community, having a community, which YouTube creates that for you. I came on YouTube and I realized that, oh my God, I've done a lot of things. I work with De Niro. A lot of stars were attracted to the content that I created. But I did that out of necessity because I started out as an actor. My entire passion was acting and getting into the film industry. I have a lot of friends who came to Los Angeles and they left. And I think the reason I stuck around is because of my writing, to be honest with you, creating my own content. But it's interesting because the agencies that want to take you on as a writer or as an actor, it is extremely challenging, meaning from the top down, there is this dynamic of, um, you know, this fear factor that comes into play in Hollywood. And I think it's a little bit has had a backlash with the new election. All of a sudden, a lot of the ideas that Hollywood was putting out, the country didn't vote for. So regardless of what side you're on, which is irrelevant in this conversation, a lot of things shifted, right? And we're in a shift as we speak today. And I think the most important thing to remember here is that the importance of who you are as a person. And I think this is what I realized for myself. And I decided to get on YouTube, and the script I had written about my life, called The Storyteller. I turned it into a book, and this book, I turned it into a novel. I sent it to a bunch of different book agents, and that's a process by itself, right? Everybody's looking for this hit or this trend or that trend, and it just continues. But I think what YouTube does, and I think what this community does, it comes back to community, is that it gives you a sense of connection, right? You're connecting with people. And I also started putting some online courses together, which I will share with my subscribers, and talk about screenwriting, talk about storytelling when it comes to AI, talk about technology, you name it. And I think it'll be very, very beneficial. Um, I've been through the trenches. I've had movies fall apart on me. I've had people steal money on films. I've had, scenes with big stars. Bruce Willis was one that was fantastic. I have a lot of things to say about him. He's actually a really good guy. But at the end of the day, the system itself, which is, uh, for my example, in the film industry, is designed to keep you isolated. Meaning, if you're going to get that role, oh, I got that role. And then the actors in that circle, oh, he's got the role, she's got the role. And it's like, you're almost trying to please the king constantly, and the king is the system. There is no actual place called Hollywood. It's just a system, and the system is completely flawed, dysfunctional, and has a lot of downfalls and pitfalls. And a lot of people who, probably had a shitty childhood, most of them who wanted to be an actor because they wanted to be seen, that doesn't play well into the system of Hollywood. And the support system is absolutely not there. It doesn't exist. It's a survival of the fittest all the way through. The reason I've had some of the success I've had, I have a movie coming out with Danny Trejo that will be out next year. We made that in Los Angeles. I mean, 35 locations, independent thriller about the fentanyl usage and the gangsters behind it. Really, really cool. But that still is an isolating path, meaning, although I've had many produced screenplays, many different roles on film and some of the television stuff that I've done, the system keeps feeding itself. And the agents, work for the agents, are also fear driven for their clients, for themselves. It is a cutthroat business. Now, what do you learn from all this? What you can learn from all this is survival. And once you know how to survive, then you thrive. That's really what it comes down to. And I was motivated to get on and have this conversation with you. And also, please keep in mind, this is going to be on Spotify. We have an Instagram account, and don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. Don't just watch the video and then move on. If you're interested in the subject matter, would appreciate if you take part in it. So what it comes down to is believing in yourself and being able to function. Okay, backtracking to an acting class. I took a class with this guy named Lewis Smith. He was a movie star in the 80s, and he was great. And what I learned from Lewis Smith was what Humphrey Bogart used to do, right, as an actor. He used to stage. He used to walk on the film set, look around, find the lamp, find the television set in the scene itself, find a chair, and use those elements, a bottle, a drink, and be great at it. And I think that's what I learned, which is the craft of camera, right? And I think what I'm deciding on to do is also talk about how to be comfortable on camera, talk about how to be present, right? It's not easy because you have to look into that camera and you have to really engage. And it's sometimes, there's notes you got to think about, but if you're not really engaging within the camera and the audience, going back to learning the step one, which is staging, instinctual acting. I studied with a guy named Rick Walters, who passed away last year. Fantastic guy, really getting to the moment. Really classical Stanislavski stuff is what he taught. And that's why in the other video I was talking about Ed Norton in the movie, with Bob Dylan movie that he just did. And it is the same idea, which is what I learned from Rick Walters. Bottom line is, I wanted to share this with you. I want you to check out my book. I'm going to narrate this book myself. It's based on my life story. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you subscribe, and if you haven't, and I hope you stay engaged. And I'm going to probably explain within the book before I start the narration about what the scene is. So just a reminder. And then I'm going to do it. I'm going to lay it out there and go from there. But again, community is important. I appreciate you watching this channel. I appreciate you checking it out. I'm purposely keeping some mistakes in this. I'm not going to edit it all the way through, but that's just because, that's how we do it. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for watching.